Steel boots thunder against the dirt. 100 men march in perfect rhythm, yet it is one voice that commands them. Behind every banner of Rome, behind every victory carved into stone, stood a man whose glare could make legions tremble. He was not a general draped in silk. He was not an emperor crowned in laurel. He was something far more feared, the Roman centurion. The centurion was more than a soldier. He was the spine of the Roman war machine. Cicero once said that the sinews of war are infinite discipline. The centurion embodied that discipline in flesh and in iron. His helmet bore a crest, not for decoration, but as a beacon in the chaos of battle. His presence was so commanding that enemies often sought to kill him first, knowing if he fell, the legion might crumble. To his men, he was half father, half executioner, a figure they feared, obeyed, and in strange ways, even loved. The first centurions rose from the ranks of ordinary legionaries. They were chosen not for birth, but for brutality, cunning, and an unshakable will. Polybius, the Greek historian, described them as men willing to confront danger, but more concerned with leading others wisely than with reckless heroics. In other words, Rome did not need glorious champions. Rome needed enforcers. Imagine the trial. You are a common soldier, your body hardened from endless drills. One morning, your name is called. You step forward. You will not be tested by words, but by wounds. You fight your comrades and stage duels until the sand is red. You endure the weight of armor, the sting of whips, the endless roar of commands. And when you collapse, they do not help you up. They watch, because Rome only wanted men who could rise on their own. If you survived this crucible, you wore the crest of a centurion, and with it came not luxury, but chains heavier than iron. On the battlefield, the centurion was the living wall between order and chaos. Picture the clash at Cannae. Amid Hannibal's ambush, legions crumbled, thousands dying in hours. Yet Roman accounts speak of centurions standing in blood-soaked fields, rallying men again and again, even when survival was impossible. Their duty was not victory. Their duty was to fight until Rome's heartbeat could be heard through them. And in battle they carried not only the gladius, but also the vine staff, a symbol of command and a weapon of punishment. If a soldier broke ranks, the staff came down without hesitation. Discipline was not a request. It was law, delivered through pain. Yet behind this terror was something human. Centurions lived with their men, ate with them, bled with them. A soldier could hate his centurion for the lash one night and weep for him when he fell the next day. There are tombstones in Rome carved with words of affection from legionaries to their centurions, calling them pater, father. To lead meant sacrifice. A centurion's place was always at the front line, where death came first. And so, paradoxically, fear and love became the same thing. But even iron bends with time. As the empire decayed, so did its centurions. Once symbols of discipline, some grew corrupt, extorting money from their men. Others became pawns in civil wars, trading loyalty for politics. By the 4th century, reforms had hollowed the rank. The proud crest no longer struck fear. It became a ghost of what once was. The centurion did not die in a single battle. He withered, until his title was little more than memory. And yet, echoes remain. Today, military units across the world still measure themselves against Rome's discipline. The idea of the non-commissioned officer, the backbone of the army, descends directly from the centurion. Their graves remind us that power is not always in crowns or titles. Sometimes it is in the man who forces others to stand when they want to run. So ask yourself, what would you choose? To be loved as a leader, or feared as an enforcer? The centurion was both, and that is why his shadow still marches. From the thunder of boots to the silence of ruins, the centurion's story is one of loyalty, cruelty, and sacrifice. He was not the empire's brightest jewel. He was its iron spine. If this forgotten enforcer moved you, leave a like, share this story, and subscribe for more legends of history. And as always, may history never be forgotten.